Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a walk around tour of my VW van. I've been asked to do this a few times now. I've been holding off because there's other bits and pieces I wanted to do to it, but if I keep waiting it's never going to get done, so as I've always got something to do to it. So we'll go for a little tour around the van, show you what I've done, modifications, extras and so on, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it. Okay, this vehicle, it's a 2009 VW T5 Transporter, Sportline Edition, a limited edition X. When I bought it, I had no idea. It meant nothing to me. You know, I honestly, as much as I've been in the car game all my life, that didn't mean nothing to me. I was relatively uninformed when it came to transporters, VWs and whatnot. So what this particular model is a limited edition which was made in 2009. Consisted of there was 150 ever made, 75 in silver, 75 in shadow blue. This particular one happens to be number 20, so it'd be nice to know if there's anybody else out there who have actually got a limited edition X. I facelifted it. It did not look like this. The reason I facelifted it was because it was damaged from the front. If you check out my other videos, you can see the repair we done on the front. And I thought in the process, just facelift it. Very easy to do. I've actually done a specific video just for the facelift, which you can see how easy that is to do. Apparently the limited edition X, it came with leather seats, 18-inch alloys, front and rear spoilers, and a couple of few other extras that the other vans didn't have. It's got 174 brake horsepower, that's standard, that's how it came out of the factory. 2.5 engine, 5-cylinder. The wheels, I have 20-inch Wolf Race Assassins. As you can see, the gap on the arch, I think sits beautiful. I've actually had a lot of people comment asking me, how did you get it to sit that well? Well, to be honest, when I got this vehicle, it actually had these alloys on it, but it had different tyres on it. It had 40s. Now, I had to buy another set of wheels. Well, I needed an alloy because one of the alloys got damaged in the accident. So I was lucky enough to find a whole new set on eBay, and but they had these tyres on it. Well, not these ones, these have been replaced now, but they had 50s as opposed to 40s. So when I say 50s, to those who don't know, I'm talking about the width here. Yeah. So I went with the 50s because one thing I didn't want was a very bumpy vehicle. If I went over potholes and whatnot, I wanted to make sure that there was going to be a little bit of comfort there, because the thing is with wheels, the bigger you go, yeah, okay, the better it looks, but the more ride you lose, it gets uncomfortable. And especially with some people put 22s on these with like minuscule tyres, and yeah, it looks really nice, but blimey, when you hit a pothole, you know about it. So I went with the 20s, got rid of the 40s, put 50s on there. So they are now 255, 50, 20 on their tyres, and the ride is fantastic. There's no rubbing. There is a slight modification you have to do, and you have plastic wing liners in there. You just got to heat them up and bend them in, because when you full lock, it just catches it ever so slightly. But if you heat them up, bend them in a bit, that sorts the problem out, and you're good to go. And the same on the back, there's wing liners as well. You just got to, I mean, they look really close, don't they? But you just bend them back and there's no problem whatsoever. The modifications on the front are daytime running lights, I've tinted the headlights, but I've also upgraded the bulbs, because when I first tinted them, kept the original bulbs, and yeah, they didn't perform particularly well. So I upgraded the bulbs, so they're much better now. Standard grille, but I painted it gloss black and just added that red trimming. Same again with the lower one, that's a standard trim, added that red bit of trim there just to break it up a bit. Now with the lower part of the bumper, so this piece here that goes around here, I quite like that. That was off the original, like before it was modified. I liked that spoiler, so what I did was I tried to fit it, well not tried, I actually fitted it to a T5.1 front bumper. It took a bit of persuading, because obviously the curvature was slightly different and it wasn't meant for that bumper, but eventually it sat in place, bonded it on, so I've got pretty much half the bumper is T5, half the bumper is T5.1, but it's a nice combination because, well, no one else has got one of these, but just, you can buy them spoilers, so if you ever wanted to get one, you could fit one to a T5.1 bumper if you wanted that. The lower splitter is a carbon fibre splitter, and before I put a splitter on it just looked, the gap between the floor and the bumper looked too high, so I got that carbon fibre splitter, and it just transformed it. It made it look so much better. So highly recommend getting one of those. And again, because the vehicle doesn't sit stupidly low, I do get asked, do you have any problem with speed humps and things like that? No, nothing at all. Never have had one little problem with speed humps. Right, moving on, I've got the T5.1 mirrors, door mirrors. They've been colour coded to the vehicle. I've also colour coded, like I've sprayed the black as well. I didn't like the black plastic, so I just glossed it, so it's all gloss. Sportline decal. I don't know if you can tell, most people can't really up until they get close to it, but it's actually got, I've fitted a body kit to it. So it starts from here. So it starts from here. I've had to modify the body kit to make it fit, as I said, because of the bumper was modified in itself. So you've got 4 arches, you've got that panel there, it literally goes all the way around here, see? And these panels here, down here, they're all plastic, and it goes all the way along to the other arch at the back. So yeah, that is actually a body kit, that's actually plastic. A lot of people who put these kits on leave them in black. I think they call it, I don't know if it's the swamp look they call it, or you know, they just want that sort of rugged kind of look. Obviously I didn't want to go for that, so I colour coded it, but I just wanted, I don't know, it is a very subtle body kit, you can't even really see that it's there unless you're close up, but I like the way it joins the back bumper to the arch, you know, joins to the back bumper. I like the way that does that, so that's all good. Got the side bars, the running bars at the bottom. But on the back, not a lot really going on the back. Got a roof spoiler, rear reverse camera up there in between the, well, in the middle. Parking sensors. There's a little sort of alley strip that goes across the top of the bumper. Pretty straightforward. At the back, mud flaps. The rear lights, I've had people say to me, you've done all this to your van and you haven't changed the rear lights yet. Well, that's because I wanted to do something different with the lights. Again, it's just me thinking outside the box. I wanted something different, so my intention is to fit T6 lights to the back. Now everyone's going to say T6 don't fit a T5, and you're absolutely right, they don't, but that's what makes it so appealing. So I will make a video of how I intend to make them fit. I've already bought the lights. They're really, really nice. I got them off an 18 plate vehicle, and if I can make them fit, I say if because I'm not sure at the moment, it'll look fantastic. So yeah, keep a watch out for that video. With the roof, I've got the roof rails, I've got the roof bars going across, and right in the middle is a 100-watt solar panel. So that's all that's going on the roof. I've got this dab aerial. That's a really good aerial. I did have one of these aerials for the dab stereo, but they are rubbish. It wasn't picking up anything, so I decided to get one of those. You have to wire that into a 12-volt supply, but once that's connected, you get every single station. It's a really good aerial, so highly recommend that. Right, we've done the outside. I think I've covered everything outside anyway. It was a bit windy, so if it's messed around with the sound, I apologise. Moved into the inside now. We'll start with the cabin, cockpit, whatever you want to call it, the front, and we'll go through that, and then we'll move over to the back and see what I've done back there. So let's get to it. So we'll start off with the seats. These, as I said earlier, is a limited edition X. Sounds so impressive, doesn't it? I don't know if you can see that little tag there. See that little tag? Sportline limited edition X, number 20 of 150. So as I said earlier, it would be nice to know if anyone has got one of these particular models. So yeah, if you do, give me a shout. But they are lovely seats, really nice seats. I was a bit fortunate really, because you know, these kind of seats, something like this is not cheap. So yeah, so anyway, that's the seats. Armrest, both sides, captain seat obviously. Right, next we'll go with the roof lining. Now I did a video specifically for this whole roof lining job and the side pillars, sun visors. So I've actually done a video for that, how I did it. It actually came out really good. Got the word Sportline spelled up there, so that looked pretty good. Well, that's the roof lining. Right, the steering wheel. I bought this steering wheel off eBay. I think they said it came out of a Golf GTI, but I've also seen these type steering wheels in Passats, and I'm sure there's other models that they come out of, but they all fit. You only have to do, the only modification with fitting these steering wheels is the airbag wiring, which is really easy because it's you just got to swap a wire over. It's no big deal. But what I did with my steering wheel, just to make it look more different, is I've added this ring. It's like an aluminium ring in blue, just to match the car, the van, and I've recovered the steering wheel in this leather colour. Now this takes a bit of patience. As you can see, it really does look good, and it completely changes the steering wheel. I'm always getting asked, where did you buy that steering wheel? Well, you can't actually buy a steering wheel like this, you have to cover it yourself. So these covers are available eBay and places like Wish and AliExpress and all these other places, they sell them. As I said, it takes a bit of time. I've actually done a video on how to cover a steering wheel, however it wasn't this one. I think in total now I've had 3 or 4 steering wheels on this vehicle. I keep changing them. Every time I see a steering wheel I want to put a new one on. So anyway, that's, yeah, but there is a video for that on how to put these coverings on, and they're really good. They are really, really good. Right, on the actual clocks, the dashboard, I've added these chrome rings, alloy rings around it just to break it up a bit, so they're quite easy to fit. And I've also gone for the ring around the light switch, and I've also changed the light switch knob, or not knob, it's a complete light switch unit, because that's in sort of like an alloy look as well, so I've changed that as well just to match the rest of it. On the actual dashboard, the heater control knobs, changed them. They're aluminium as well, and they light up red. They are a must because the knobs that come on this vehicle are horrible, just normal ugly plastic ones. So, and these are quite cheap as well, so that's a nice cheap mod if you wanted to do that. I've changed the gator on the gear stick, and the gear knob is actually the original gear knob, but I painted it, and I painted it with leather paint. You can actually buy leather paint, and it's really, really good stuff, and that's been on there ages now, and you can see it doesn't actually come off, considering how much use a gear stick gets, or a gear knob gets. So yeah, you can buy that leather paint, and you know, you can pretty much paint anything with it. So moving down, now this was something I was quite excited about. You see these cups, mugs, whatever you want to call them, they're like thermal mugs. Look at that, VW. I saw these, I was on one of those VW group things they have, and someone had a set of these, and I was like, where the hell did you get them from? They are so cool. And they're from Tesco's. Look at that. Hang on, let me open it. I've never used it. I literally only bought them for show. So how cool is that? So anyway, I've bought these. Funny enough, I went into the shop. Well, I couldn't even get into the shop because it was like there was like serious lockdown. They wouldn't even let anyone in. So I went online, and I bought them online, and they were £8 each. So when they came, I was all excited. I thought, yes, I got these new mugs and that. And then I thought, where the hell am I going to put them? Because there was literally nowhere to put them. I only wanted them for show. So I went on. I looked for a center console like this. Oh yeah, just before I move on to that, look at this. How cool is this? I got this as a present. Hang on, let me just get it out. How cool is that? That's a flannel, right? With my, well, everyone calls me Charlie Boy, but yeah, that's my van. How cool is that? It's been embroidered into the flannel. I've got my name on it as well. Got that for Christmas. Fantastic present. Brilliant. Love that. So going back to the center console, yeah, so I wanted to display these mugs, and I thought, oh, where am I going to put them? So I looked around for center consoles, and I come across this guy who was selling something like this on eBay. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can get it out of it. Right, so that's the console. The sun's in the way. Right. And this guy on eBay wanted $65 or $69.95 for these center consoles, and I thought, wow, that's, you know, I'm not tight, but I thought that's a bit expensive really for what it is. So I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to make one myself. And I didn't make a video of it, I should have, because it's actually, but I made that center console out of scrap wood, and I mean it was scrap wood that was going to get thrown away. I covered the sides with the carpet, the 4-way stretch that everyone uses on their vans, and the top is that suede I used on the roof lining. You bore the holes out with a drill, one of those, you know, those downlight sort of cutting things you have, just 2 holes there, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bits of wood, and it's just thin flimsy plywood, and I bonded it all together, and I just covered it, and I made it in about a couple of hours, and it fits absolutely perfect. Got a little VW badge there as well, and also because, let's put these back, because this seat lifts up the compartment, I had to make sure that, see, that hits there. So obviously I thought I need it to be a certain way that I can actually open it, but as you can see, look at that, absolutely bang, perfect. See? So you can still open the seat, no problem at all. So I was well pleased with that. But yeah, I might actually if I get enough people asking me to, I might actually reverse engineer and take it apart and show you just how easy it was to make. It really was. So yeah, and it's a good place to, if you want to put your phone or your keys or something there, you know, it's just handy, and it's a wasted space because no one uses it. So yeah, so I was well chuffed with that. Well, I'll move on to the tech now. This is the fun bit. I love my tech. Start off with the dash cam. That's a Next Base dash cam. Brilliant little bit of kit, that. Very high quality. It's got all that impact thing if someone hits you, and stores that, and GPS. You can actually download the software, and when you put it on your computer, it'll actually tell you where you were and all that malarkey. But yeah, really good dash cam, very good at night as well. So that's my Next Base dash cam, right? And then we move down, and now this is a bit I'm quite pleased with actually. So with these T5s, the dashboard is quite boring, not a lot going on, and I really wanted something different. So what I decided to go for, got Pioneer head unit. Okay, it's all touch display, blah blah blah, does all that. It's got Spotify, DAB radio, you can plug in USB, watch films on it, not while you're driving. Because originally I did have one of those Japanese head units in it, which had everything built in, and it was okay for what it was, but yeah, it's not as nice as when you press this stuff, you know. You got this, oh, get rid of that, hang on, right, so yeah, it's all touchscreen. Stop that. Yeah, it's obviously Pioneer is going to be like a really good make. I think Pioneer Kenwood is mostly what people put in these anyway. But obviously I wanted a sat nav. So I hear you ask, well, why didn't you get something that had everything built in? I don't know. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be extra. So I got this Garmin, I think it's called a Garmin 65, I think. But what I liked about this Garmin, I wasn't a big fan of Garmin, to be honest. I was always like a TomTom kind of fan, you know. But it seems like TomTom has lagged behind a bit in regards to technology, and I wanted a nice big screen, and this screen was absolutely the same size as the Pioneer. So I got that, and at first when I got it, it was mounted first on the windscreen, and then I had it mounted somewhere here, and it just, I thought, oh, it looks a bit, you know, I want it to look proper, you know, like fitted and all that. So I actually made this frame around it. Again, it was on impulse. I didn't make a video of it. I should have. But believe it or not, that was, so you get kind of notifications like that, and that's quite good. Yeah, this so you get the way I started was the plastic frame was the one that was used for any kind of double DIN stereo like this, and then I just built around it. I actually made a template out of cardboard, and then I used resin, fiberglass, and eventually filler to get a nice flat finish, and I made it fit, and in it went. And what I really love about this sat nav is it's got built-in Alexa. Yeah, she's woke up, look. So you can ask her anything you want. For example, Alexa, what's the weather like today?
In Matchington, it's 12 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today, you can expect intermittent clouds, with a high of 12 degrees and a low of 9 degrees.
How good is that? And when you're bored, if you're on a journey somewhere and you get bored and you go, Alexa, tell me a joke.
What do you call a werewolf with no legs? Anything you like. She can't chase you.
How good is that? It also combines with I've got Spotify, so there's my phone there. It's obviously all linked, so you got your phone, your sat nav, and your head unit. And when you're driving, you really do not have to touch any of this equipment. You just speak to it. Even if you want to say, for example, Alexa, where's the nearest country park to me?
I found a few nearby parks. There's Country Park, 22.6 miles away on Brewers Road, Danbury Country Park,
Alexa,
8.2 miles
go
away
to number
Danbury
1.
Country. Getting directions to Country Park at Brewers Road.
See? And it is that easy. So when you're out and about and you're driving, if you haven't booked a campsite or wherever you're going, you're just on the road, you're getting tired or whatever it is you're doing, you just go, boom, find me the nearest campsite, find me the nearest country park, you know, and it will just find it for you. It is so good. So yeah, I can't rate that enough. But love that bit of tech in this van, and I do get a lot of comments, people asking me, where did you get that and how did you do it, and blah blah blah. With the head unit, what I did, if you look on the side of it, with a standard dashboard, they're kind of, well, they're sort of flat, aren't they? They're sort of that, facing that way. And I wanted something which is a little bit more inclined. So again, what I did with this was, I had the frame that you get with these double DIN stereos, okay, and I just worked around it. I built it up out of fiberglass, and finished it off with filler, sanded it all down, painted it with 2K lacquer, and there you go, there's the dashboard there, a double DIN. I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people go, oh, it looks stupid, but the majority of people say it's pretty impressive. In fact, I actually had one guy who contacted me and said he wants to go into business with me making these to sell. But as I say, I'm not into any of that. What I do, the modifications I do, is just for my own personal thing. But you'll be very surprised what you can do with fiberglass, filler, and a can of spray. So yeah, that's my little setup there. Obviously my music, can't play any music because of the copyright thing. So, but yeah, great fun. So that's that. As I say, this head unit inside my glove box here. I've got a little 12-volt thing going on here. That powers the dash cam. This is powering the sat nav. You've got your USBs there, and also you've got auxiliary in. If you didn't want to connect via Bluetooth, you've got your auxiliaries, and you've also got your, somewhere here is a USB lead, which again comes out of the stereo for plugging in USB hard drive, so you can watch films if you want. Everything else really, I sprayed this black, but it's yeah, I did it with a can and it's not very good. That needs to be done properly with 2K lacquer. It's just when you do that, I don't take the bits off, I just mask up the whole dash like I did with the glove box. I just sprayed that blue so it sort of matches with everything else. What is that? I think that's it for up front. Yeah, just colour coded the knobs, you know, just little things. This was a recent accessory I just fitted, quite pleased with that. It's a double USB connector and it fits in the standard hole there, so that's handy. I know I've got all these in here, but you've got to open the glove box for that. That's okay if you want to like power a battery, you know, one of those portable batteries. That's fine, you can plug it in there and just leave it in there charging up. But if you've got a phone and you want to charge it up, I've got a phone there, look, that's for the other half. She can put her phone there and charge it up. My one's over there, so that's all good. Yeah, microphone up there, that's for hands-free calling. Sensors there for the alarm. And that's it really. Yeah, these, obviously everyone's got these in their vans. They're rubbish. They make so much noise when they're open. They are terrible. So that really never gets used. That stays shut. So that's, I think, everything here. And what we'll do now is we'll move on to the back. So happy days. Right, so we've made it to the back. Let's show you what I've done in here. But first, I'd like to introduce you to Norma. Norma, say hello. And there she is. Beautiful, isn't she? Not much left of her, but hey, she keeps me company when I'm lonely. Right, enough of that madness. Where do we start? Okay, so let's take a step out. So we'll start with the roof. I'll tell you why I want to start with the roof, because so the roof is pretty straightforward. It's just been carpeted with 4-way stretch, VW logo, LED lights, the usual. However, because I've done the front there and it looked so good, no, I'm not going to recover the whole back roof because that's just too long. But what I am going to do, and I will make a video of it, I'm going to add a section here, pretty much the width of where these lights are, to run all the way to the back. This might not make any sense to you, it will when I eventually do it and you'll see it. So there's going to be a strip going across, it will be covered in that sort of suede look stuff, same colour as the front, because the front looks good and now the back looks a bit boring. And I'm going to have LED lights running in the top of it. So yeah, I've got something I think pretty good planned for this back roof, but that'll come eventually. Anyway, back to the tour. What do we have? Right, I have an overhead locker or compartment, shelf, whatever you want to call it, that stores bits and pieces when you're travelling away. So it's a handy little thing, handy little compartment to have. Okay, My drone's always in there as well. Look. Haven't used that in ages, but hey, whatever. Underneath, LED light. That's really good at night, or when you're cooking. The usual SMEV setup. Sink, hob. Nothing really special there. The cupboards, drawers. Actually, I've noticed on a lot of setups on these vans, they don't have a lot of drawers. They have more like, well, what I've got going on there. So like them tambour doors, them shutters, doors that open, flaps and whatnot. But I found these drawers to be really good and handy to have. With little cups in there. Look at that, VW as well. Right? It's just everything's VW. It's crazy. Anyway, so the fridge I have in here, it's not the usual Domitec fridge as everyone has. To be honest, when I was building this van, I was looking and I thought £650, that was a lot of money for a fridge. I know that's what everyone has, everybody has it. It's like, yep, fridge, go for the Domitec. But when I done my research on this one, this is a compressor fridge, don't get me wrong, it's not one of those three-way fridges and that. It is a proper 12 volt compressor fridge. This is called a DC50, and on paper this is actually better than the Domitec CRX 50, if I think it's the CRX, because they say the power drainage on this particular fridge is less than the Domitec. I mean, I've actually used this fridge now. It's been in here since I've built the van, and I've had it on for like one time, that's really about a couple of months, just using the power from the solar panel, obviously. And I've got a leisure battery which is located under the driver's seat, and it was absolutely fantastic. It worked an absolute treat, never let me down. Freezer at the top as well, and that works brilliantly. Sometimes it works so good I've got to turn it down because it just freezes everything up, so it's that good. And I've never had a problem with power consumption or anything like that. So, and that is about £200 less than the Domitec. So very good fridge, highly recommended, and does the job. So if you want to save a bit of money, I mean, obviously it's everyone's choice and taste and whatnot, but I'm telling you that's tried and tested, brilliant fridge. So moving on, the back seats, normal rock and roll bed. I say normal rock and roll bed. When I bought this, I had no idea. Again, I was quite a novice when it comes to bits and pieces for these vans and that, and this turned out to be one of those M1 crash tested beds. So I had a right result, and the reason I learned that is because I fitted a few beds since then, and my god, the quality's been terrible, really flimsy and weak and terrible. But this bed, yes, it weighs a bit, but bloody hell, it is solid. It is absolutely solid. Obviously under here is where you keep all your storage, camping chairs and whatnot. I've tried to utilise as much space as possible to get maximum storage space without looking cluttered. So yeah, that really works well. Another thing is when this bed opens up, I won't do it now, but when it opens up, there's no legs here. There's actually no legs, so I don't really like the ones where the legs are sort of hanging on the floor or scratching the floor and all that. So that was another plus for me. But that's a really good bed, and also comfortable. very comfortable. It didn't have headrests. I put those headrests on. They're just headrests out of any car. I don't even know what they came out of, but what I did, I bought these covers for them, and I just think it gives it that really nice touch. Them covers were like £6, I think, and they just go across there. And when I open the bed, the headrests come off. They go into the locker unit there, out of the way, and we have a bed. At the back, another locker. I just used that to store bits and pieces, what you'd use for everyday camping. On this side, I've got a reading light, which is an LED. That's actually really bright. And then I've got the original light, which used to be in the roof lining, but I put it here. And the reason I kept this and still using it is because at night sometimes you don't want these bright LED lights. You want something with a little bit more mood, you know, something that a little bit warmer. So I use that. Here, a couple of little LED torches when you go out walking, if you need to go, or if you need to go to the toilet, or you need to go out somewhere and all that. They're really good. So they're there. These nets, these, I tell you what, are brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think they're about £6-7 each, and there's no stapling them or gluing them or anything. They're just velcro back and they stick perfectly to the 4-way stretch carpet, so you can put them anywhere you want. Literally put them anywhere you want, and they're so good. They hold so much stuff. I got one there and I got one there because I carpeted the back of the double seat there, and it just, anytime you be going away, you just put stuff in it. Fantastic. So now to this section here. What have I got going on here? Well, I'll start off with the obvious. I sort of like fish. I've always had a fish tank, and I wanted one with me. So I've got this one. Now, I haven't actually had this on for a while, and what happens is, it's not just a screensaver. You actually have to look after these fish. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there's like green stuff growing on the thing. You've got to clean it. You've actually got to clean the tank, right? And you have to maintain the tank. So there. And also, if you look at the fish, they look quite pale, so you've got to feed them. Watch this. Watch what happens when you feed them. They start to change colour. Their colour becomes more vibrant, so they become pale if you don't feed them. And apparently they get depressed as well. Look, that one hasn't eaten anything yet. He's still pale. That's crazy. So yeah, let's give him something to eat. Bless him. There he goes. Eat it. There you go. Watch him change colour. He'll change colour now. Yeah, look, he's happy now. And every so often you get little extras. You get, you know, you can change the backgrounds and all that. I started off with one little fish, and then they get bigger, and it's really good. And I like the sound as well, because where's the volume? It's actually got the bubbles. You can hear the bubbles, and it's really relaxing. So yeah, that's my little fish tank, and no water ever spills out, so we're all good. Going down now, there's a control panel, the obvious 12 volt USBs. That's telling me the power of my actual battery, the vehicle battery, main. The switches are for LED lights. As you can see, I've got, hang on, where are we? So we've got LED lights down there, LED lights across there. Obviously they change colour, the usual thing. So that's what them switches are for. I've got one switch that controls the fridge, so I can switch it off if you know I don't need it. Going down again, that's my solar panel controller, and that's actually showing me the voltage of my leisure battery. So that's my vehicle battery, that's my leisure battery. That 0.6 amps is what the sun's actually feeding the solar panel at the moment, so that's the charge going into it. Temperature of the solar panel at the moment, I don't see the relevance in that, but yeah. And then you've got a power button here, and when you turn them on, you know, I've got the iPad being charged up when that's on, and also I've got a little fan which I've connected here. Where are we? If we feel a little bit hot, so that's for that. And also what I've done as well, that also controls, if I move to here at the back, this little basket is just for rubbish. So if I'm in the back and having something to eat or whatever, you just chuck it in there and just empty it in a bin. I've put a 12-volt supply here, and the reason I've done that is because I've got a telly which mounts onto this bracket here. I keep it in the cupboard, obviously don't have it, I don't want it bouncing all over the place while I'm driving, so yeah, and I just plug it straight into there, and that's where it gets its power from. Fire extinguisher, a must, always got to have a fire extinguisher. You'd be surprised how many people forget. They fill their van up with so much gear, and then something as important as that they don't have. Right, in here, what have I got in here? Well, I've got my TV in there, a couple of hats, a blanket. Obviously it's not packed for going away because we're not going away for quite some time, but yeah. And obviously in there houses my 12-volt DC, 12-volt AC, sorry, consumer unit, and my fuse box. I have been meaning to put a cover over that. That will eventually come, just haven't had the time. So that's that. In here, again, just as important as a fire extinguisher, your carbon monoxide monitor. Definitely worth having that there, because you notice it. I mean, this is constantly monitoring. Obviously you've got a digital display there, and when we actually cook something on the hob, you actually see that go up, and you think, crikey, you know, you don't realise, as we know, it's a silent killer. So you crack open the window and then you see it go down. You know, obviously it gets to a certain point that if it's a dangerous point, because we're allowed a certain amount, I think, before it starts to get really bad, the alarm starts ringing. But like I say, we crack the window open when the hob's on, and no problems there. So definitely get a carbon monoxide monitor of some kind. This I haven't even used yet. Well, not in the van, I haven't used it. I've used it at home. It's actually quite good. It literally just plugs. It's a heater and it plugs. So if you're at a campsite with a 12-volt with a electric hookup, I thought on a cold night that would do the job, wouldn't it? Because as it stands at the moment, I don't have a diesel heater in here, one of those little heaters. I don't have it. Even though I've been away, when I have been away, it hasn't bothered me at all. The cold has not bothered me. To be honest, I haven't felt any cold. So, but I thought, you know, for what it was, I think that was about 15 quid. If we did feel cold and we were connected to the electric, that would do the job. So, yeah. might be worth having. This remote is just for your roof lights. You can dim them. They do all kinds of disco stuff and all that. But yeah. So that's the inside, I think. Obviously cushions, little touches like that, just to personalise it, make it your own, you know, colour coordinated. That you can have made up, whatever word you want. You can have your name on there, the family's name or whatever. I just put that there. Speakers, just for a bit better sound. Had this carpet specially made because I couldn't get one anywhere. So that carpet was specially made. That took about 2 months actually. I waited for that, but it's a nice touch. I think that's pretty much it for the inside. Oh, and I've got the divider curtain, so one on that side, one on that side, so when you're asleep, you know, it blocks out the cab, completely blocks out all the light, and for privacy as well. So that's all good. No, I think we've covered everything there. Let's have a walk round to the back. Oh. So in the back, nothing really special in the back. Again, more storage, block that off to store more stuff. This is just another entrance to that, where I had all them, the TV, the hats and blankets and everything else I had in there. So that's just another way of getting into that bit there. Still got to cover that door, look, haven't done that yet. Oh my god, it's on my to-do list. So yeah, that's on my to-do list. I've carpeted the inside. So that's that. In here I have the driveway awning. I've got a normal awning and a driveway awning. So that's what I keep in there. And don't even know what I've got here. Just bits and pieces really, nothing special. So again, more storage, obviously that goes right up to the front. So that's the back. Oh yeah, the table, I've got the table here. Where is it? Let's see, yeah, I've got the table there. I've covered the bottom of the table so it sort of matches, sort of blends in with the tailgate. I got one of the fitting kits. You can buy them kits on eBay. They're only about £15 and they just consist of these little, two of them, and then you got these two corners here, and you can store your table out of the way. And as I said in a previous video, I was really pleased with that table. I actually made that table myself. This leg is a kit that you buy. You can buy that kit on eBay as well, eBay or Amazon. Right, you buy that, but the actual table itself I made from the offcut of that window. So that backboard that goes around the window, rather than throw the wood away, when I cut out that section, I made the table out of it, and it worked absolutely brilliantly. So again, saving money, recycling and everything else. So you know, you can save money and make things look good if you just put a bit of thought behind it. So that's the end of my van tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope there were certain things that you liked. You're not going to like everything, and that's the thing. When you're building one of these vans, it's a very personal thing. some people are going to like it, some people ain't. It doesn't matter. Build it to whatever makes you happy. Enjoy it. But if there's anything you've seen and you want to know a little bit more about how I did it, happy to answer the questions. As I say, I've got quite a bit more planned for this van. As always, it never ends. Hopefully I'll be doing the roof lining in the back, as I said, that extra panel with the LED lighting. I'll also be trying to fit T6 lights into the back. That's going to be a laugh. But other than that, yeah, I'll be staying up late at night thinking of more ideas to do to this van. But it is great fun. If you're thinking about doing it, do it. Just get one. They are so good. The people you meet, you know, they're just, I don't know, it's really weird. It's like I've met so many different people now, talking to so many different people who like this kind of thing, and yeah, I can't wait. Hopefully lockdown will get lifted and we'll end up all meeting up somewhere. So yeah, thank you for watching, and as I said, if there's anything you want to know, give us a shout and I'll try and help as much as possible. But till next time guys, thank you and goodbye. Stay safe.